Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 19th episode of Kentucky Go Digital Live.
First of all, Happy New Year 2018.
Take a look at all of these awesome students.
And telling a story in your school, for me, has become also,
I had used Google.
Some of you all come so far so quickly, and I don't mean that in a braggy way.
Once you get all that set up, you can just be talking back and forth like we are right now.
Greetings, Kentucky Go Digital Live viewers. Kindergarten at Sonia. I wanted to share Google Hangouts as a tool in the classroom because I wanted to give my students a global perspective.
I immediately knew that I wanted to present on using Google Keep for student feedback.
We have 215 live viewers.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God!
It's drop mic material for some of our kids. They need time to process.
Source for you to look at. But if you look at the teachers and you have your norms,
together we'll show you how to use Google Hangouts. It's a great little tool.
Let me introduce you to one of my favorite tech tools for educators of all time. It's called KYLChat.
okay, so today I want to kind of introduce you guys to Polo.
Greetings, Kentucky Go Digital. Welcome to the 20th episode of Kentucky Go Digital Live and the second special edition episode here featuring the amazing panelists from KYLChat. We are so excited that you are with us today. My name is Brooke Whitlow. I'm the Instructional Technology Coordinator in Hardin County Schools. And I'm so excited. Are y'all ready? Check out this amazing panel that we have here. Now, I do have to tell you a couple things before I get started with introductions. And the video that just played, did anybody notice anything about it? How many subscribers do we have, Elaine?
We have over 1,000 subscribers. Currently, last time I checked, it was 1,035. So awesome.
Oh my goodness. We are so thankful and so excited that over 1,000 amazing educators out there in Kentucky and beyond have decided to create, connect, and share with us here on Kentucky Go Digital Live. And we are so grateful and so excited. And it's especially exciting because today is Digital Learning Day. So this is a big episode here for us on Kentucky Go Digital because we are not only partnering with KYLChat, but we are also celebrating Digital Learning Day. So if you are out there watching with us, we want you interacting with us on all three of those hashtags. Hashtag KYLChat, hashtag Kentucky Go Digital, hashtag DL Day. I know that's a lot, but we want to blow up the Twitter sphere with the amazing ideas and tools and resources that our panel is going to show you guys today. Now, we're just packed full of surprises. So we're over 1,000 subscribers and connected educators here on our channel. And tonight, with it being our second special edition episode, we have another surprise for you. Elaine, drop the mic.
All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. A lot of us are needing some, let me share it just a second. There we go. A lot of us are needing some PD. So Kentucky Go Digital is going to offer some PD credit. And once you complete this, if you go to this link, it is bit.ly/live PD 2218. Go to that link, you're going to see a form. And once you complete that form, you're going to be able to interact with that and our show tonight. And you're going to be able to receive a certificate once you've completed tomorrow morning, once they're all graded and we see that it gives timestamps and everything else. So then you'll receive a certificate so that you can turn that into your PD coordinator at your schools and allow for PD credit if your administrators see fit. So that's a super opportunity for many. I know in McCracken County Schools we are honoring this. So I'm excited for sure for this opportunity.
So let me give you guys a little bit of backstory here on this. Elaine is incredibly humble, but during our last Snow Day special episode, Elaine made this form that was amazing and was able to give her teachers in her school district professional development credit. It was really well received. And we said, why not do that for the state? Now, just like Elaine said, that I want to reiterate, district by district, the requirements and the parameters for professional development is obviously set by the PD directors and the administration in each district. We are by no means, the authority on professional development, but what we want to offer you guys out there as viewers of Kentucky Go Digital Live, we want to offer you a certificate that verifies your participation and in the episode that we just recently had. So Elaine has set up this form that will mail merge a certificate once you complete the form. And the form will shut off at 3 hours at the end of the show? Is that what you said, Elaine?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So if you're watching live and you'd like a certificate, be sure to get that submitted in the 3 hours after the show ends to ensure that you get that certificate of participation. That was a mouthful there. Okay. So I want to first introduce you guys to Heidi Neltner. She is one of my sheroes. I love her dearly. And I want her to talk a little bit about KYLChat because that is our partner for our special episode. So Heidi, would you care to share a little bit about KYLChat?
Absolutely. First, I want to just thank you guys for having us on the show. I'm a huge, huge fan. So just to give you a little background on KYLChat, we started a number of years ago now. And really, it was an idea that I had because I felt kind of like I was an island on my own in the library. And I wanted to connect with people who had common interests, common ideas. And so I reached out to our listserv and a couple folks like James and Amanda jumped on board and we started KYLChat. And it was really started to break down those silos and connect librarians. And it has since expanded to include lots of discussion about teaching and learning. We have a Facebook group. We chat every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. And it's just a great way to connect with others across the country, across our state, and share ideas and share what's working and what's awesome in our libraries.
Well, and I love contributing to and learning from your chats that you have. It's one of my favorite ones to follow along with. And I'm not a librarian, and I'm not by any means any kind of authority in library land, but your chat is very inclusive. James Allen, who is that there in your school that's waving on camera? Is that the Buddy Berry? Oh, hey, unmute yourself and say hi.
It's the lady that I named my daughter after.
Oh, nice. Yes, I love it. You doing a little
like an all-star cast. Y'all hide this? What do you have to do to get a password for this thing?
Well, right now you have to be an amazing rock star library media specialist, which you just so happen to have in Eminence.
Yeah. So I'll hide in the background from now on.
2. You have 2. Awesome. Of course. We can't forget Jane Gilbert. Is she still there? No? Oh, okay. All right. Well, he muted himself. Okay. So thank you, Heidi. And thank you to our incredible panel. I'm going to introduce you guys individually here in just a minute. So let's talk about real quick the way this episode is going to work. So we have this panel of teachers, teacher librarians that we are going to give the mic to for about 5 minutes or so, and they're going to share some incredible ideas and resources that are going on in their classroom. And our Kentucky Go Digital Live team, we're all spread out. First of all, you've got me and Elaine here who are going to kind of be the host for your special edition here tonight. Live. Then we have Heather Worrell. She is over in the YouTube live chat, and she's going to be running Q&A. She's also running Q&A on Twitter on all 3 of those hashtags that I mentioned, KYLChat, KY Go Digital, and Digital Learning Day, DL Day on Twitter. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions or anything at all, please interact with Heather over there on any of those 3. Oh, there's Jen Gilbert. We have to say hi to Jen Gilbert. Say hello to her.
Hey, KY Go Digital. So excited to hear this tonight.
Hey, Jen Gilbert. What's your favorite STEM resource in the EdHub?
Well, what gets the most traffic probably is the laser cutter, or at least the design, like the Corel Draw, the software we're using for that. Because then we have kids realizing that it also does the vinyl and other things like that. And so we have kids beating down our doors to do that all day long.
Listen, I'm totally putting you on the spot. Do you love that?
I love it.
Hey, what's your favorite coding resource that you have in the Media Center?
I probably am currently using Spheros the most right now. Spheros and Ollie's. Sphero EDU is the app we're using.
Don't you love the new Sphero EDU platform? Is it not amazing? Listen, we can't talk about Spheros because I think one of our panelists is going to be talking about Spheros, so I don't want to steal her thunder. So thanks, Jen Gilbert, for totally getting put on the spot by me. You're amazing. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Are y'all so excited?
Super excited.
Can't wait.
I'm so excited.
Yay. I think we have like over 30 people watching live on the Hangout or watching live over on YouTube. So yay. So, okay. I want to introduce you guys first to Amanda Hurley. Amanda is the library media specialist at Henry Clay High School in Fayette County. And you guys will notice that sister has like her camera up really high. So I'm really excited to see what she's going to be showing us because I think there's something that I love in the background and her floor. So I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, and we're so excited to learn from you, sister. Take it away.
Well, thanks for having us. As a librarian, I love to promote the power of makerspaces. And at Henry Clay High School, we have a lot of items that are available to individual students and teachers who want to bring them to their classes. And I have something here to show you some of the cool things that we have in our makerspace. We've got everything from Connects models, which are awesome for math, science, and engineering classes. We have puzzles, extreme dot to dots, Legos. We have so many cool things. But throughout the school year, we do a ton of PD, and we advertise our makerspaces in a lot of different ways. But one of the most transformational ways that we talk about makerspaces is through our summer PD series, and we have 2 or 3 PDs before teachers come back officially for the school year, and we do a variety of different topics. But this past summer, we did one on makerspaces, and it was show and tell, and we got to talk to teachers about how they would use all of these different things in their specific discipline, and we made sure that we had practical applications for them, and we wanted them to collaborate with the school librarians while they were there in our PD. And 2 of our most fabulous things that they absolutely love that have been integrated into math and science classes this year is something that I want to share with you guys today. The first one is the Sphero. And this little guy here is a robot, and we use it to teach a lot of digital literacy. We teach coding with this. We will do it with science and math classes. Any teacher that wants to come down, we have applications for English classes and things too. But what students do is they either connect to the Sphero through their telephone, through their cell phone, or their iPads. And there's a free app that people can download. It's called Sphero EDU, just like Jen Gilbert said. And it's really easy to teach kids how to code. So you can talk coding language with your computer science classes, or you can do block coding with other students who may not have a lot of experience coding yet. And it totally gets them like totally excited about learning new things. And the Sphero EDU app is awesome because it gives you commands, and you can teach it how to roll and change colors and make different noises. And the kids are really fascinated by it. So I was going to give you a very quick demonstration. And we are going to set them here on the floor, and it's super easy. We teach kids how to code in just a matter of minutes, and then we mostly spend our time exploring. So once you open the app, you connect into your cell phone or to your iPads, and then you can give it different commands. So at school, we do it through challenges where we will give kids challenges. We have created, my amazing colleague, Felisa White, has made these amazing Sphero mazes where we teach kids how to start at one end, and then they have to figure out through trial and error and critical thinking skills working together how to get from one end of the maze to the other. And they absolutely love that. So yeah, this is our maze, and we teach kids how to code from one end of the direction of the map to the other. And then we can also use the app to demonstrate how to just program their cell phone and to make the Sphero move, which is pretty cool. And it's not going to work now. Oh, here it goes. So you can make commands that are as easy as building a square, or you can have very complex things like using algorithms and using different math equations and operations, which is really awesome. Students love this. They can come to the library anytime to check it out, and they use it in the library, or they can have classes come down as well. And the last thing, I know that I'm running out of time, but I absolutely want you to see this. These are called cubelets. And essentially, this is digital learning, but there is an app for it, but you don't have to use the app. But each individual cubelet has a different function. And so by putting the cubelets together in different ways, you can design different robots. And so it just runs on one power cube, and the kids, they can either learn through deductive reasoning what the different robots each cube does, or you can actually look at the box. We have different cublet. We have different cards here that tell you how to build certain robots. So there's lots of things you can do digitally, either through the app or even without the app, which is awesome because in the library, not everyone has access to it if we're doing an activity with other technology. So these are available in the Henry Clay Makerspace. I know lots of you all are thinking about including them in your schools, and I think that you're going to have a lot of great interest in them. If anyone has any questions, you're welcome to email us, Felisa White and I. We will be happy to answer any of your questions.
Amanda, I'm just excited because I've never heard of the cubelets. And so I'm thinking, birthday presents also too for children, and awesome makerspace material for sure. So I've not heard of that, but the Sphero I know is popular. I saw that a lot on Amazon, and I haven't actually seen it in real life. So I'm going to need to get my hands on those.
It's fairly inexpensive, about $129. We got ours through Barnes & Noble, but I know you can get it in lots of different manufacturers. So enjoy.
Thank you. Way to go. Love it.
So one thing on the Spheros too, I know we have lots of STLP sponsors and participants out there, and there is an amazingly adorable and fun Sphero Hero competition at STLP State that kiddos can participate in. And it's really adorable. It's super special because the whole competition was actually developed by a student at Thomas Nelson High School. And so students basically, they get their Sphero, they create a story, they create the props for their story, and then they program Sphero to navigate their story throughout the props and the things that they've created. So it's a really awesome tool to be able to even take what you're doing in your library or your classroom with the Spheros kind of to the next level and let the kids compete. I agree with you, Amanda, and also Jen Gilbert just a minute ago, who said that's one of the most popular things in the EdHub too. You just can't go wrong with the Spheros. We've actually, I've taken mine down like a flight of steps.
Hey, Brooke, so Kelly Reno just said that on the YouTube chat, she said that she's actually bringing some Spheros to Kisty's at the playground. So if you're going to be at Kisty, go ahead and check that out for sure at the playground.
You can also use it with certain kinds of paint. So you can actually put Sphero in water and have them like make little chariots. You can use it in science classes. You can put them in paint. You can do all sorts of amazing things with it.
Awesome.
I have seen that whole paint. Have you done the paint thing in your library, Amanda?
I'm a little nervous. I'm just waiting for the nudge from a teacher to do it. So Henry Clay teachers, come talk to us. We'd love to do it. I'm just scared to do it by myself.
Yeah, well, my children, they said just a minute ago they were going to play in mud puddles, and they came in literally like head to toe with like a full mud face and mud like all over this. So when I think about paint and children, like that's where I start to worry a little bit too, because I'm like, oh my gosh. But it does sound really fun, and I'm a big fan. And also, I'm like Elaine, I've never heard of the cubelets either. So I love your ideas, and I want to come visit your library. So
you're welcome anytime.
Thanks, girl. All right. So we are going to roll on to our next presentation, and that's going to be by the wonderful Heidi Neltner, who is the digital learning coach in Fort Thomas Independent up in Northern Kentucky. So Heidi, take it away, sister.
I love that. We're going to roll on Sphero. Sphero joke. Good job. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about two topics that I am pretty passionate about, and that is digital citizenship and digital literacy. And I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. So yeah, one of my big topics that I often talk about as a digital learning coach and as a librarian was digital citizenship. And one of the resources that we use a lot to plan lessons and to decide what we're going to talk about is Common Sense Media, and they have a scope and sequence. And it's pretty amazing. See if I can take you out to that link right there. It goes K through 12, and it has all kinds of lessons. There are Nearpod activities. You can even get certified to be a Common Sense educator, and your school can be a Common Sense school. And I'm really proud to say that our librarians, elementary librarians in our district, are Common Sense certified librarians and educators, and our elementary schools are Common Sense schools. So really, we're doing a lot with Common Sense Media. The other one that you might be aware of is the Google Be Internet Awesome, and they have Interland, which is a really cool sort of gamified experience for kids. And there's all kinds of lessons that go along with that. And Google also has a digital citizenship curriculum that you might want to look at in training. So I've got a couple links in the presentation that you should have access to later. There's a digital citizenship and safety course you might want to go through. So there's lots that you can learn about digital citizenship, because in this day and age, it's really important that we model for students how to behave online, how to share online, how to be responsible and respectful online. So that's something to kind of take a look at. The other thing that I was going to talk about today is digital literacy. And I'm going to focus in a little bit on reading strategies, because as a librarian, we just, it's all about reading, and we love reading and learning. And so with digital literacy, there's all kinds of things that you can do to model for students how to interact in a digital capacity. And I think a lot of times students don't transfer those good reading skills that you learn in print text to digital text. And as educators, we can definitely model different strategies for them. So right here, I have a screenshot of a digital text from a Kindle, and it would be a good idea for teachers and librarians to model for students how to find highlighter tools, how to find note-taking tools, how to use a dictionary, how to use search features in a text, and of course, how to take notes. So much I hear my teachers saying like, oh, the kids just get on these digital texts and they just click around. Well, that's how they interact with technology. They just click around. So we have to really be mindful about showing them print strategies, digital print strategies. We also want to model for them how to pre-read in a digital environment. So if they're looking at a website, we want to make sure that we're talking about how they should look for ads. A lot of times here on the right side of this little screenshot, there's an ad. We want to have them look for authors, look for dates, copyright, look for banners, look for traditional text features like headings, subheadings, captions on photos, and that sort of thing. So all of those things that we do in print text also transfer to looking at a website, but there's a few other things we should look for, even hyperlinks. Now, one of the things that we could do that I think maybe we don't do enough is model how to filter out the clutter. There's a lot of clutter when you look at a website. If you're in Safari on a Mac, you can use the reader view, or you could download the Google Chrome extension, Just Read, and I'll show that in just a second. But this screen here shows how you can just take out all of the stuff. And I really like the ability to do that. So if I can get out to that article real quick, I'll show you how that works. So here I am on the article, and it's not quite loading, but up here I have the Just Read extension installed. And when I click that, it takes everything away. So for a student who's really distracted by different things online, this might help them read that text. If you press the little paintbrush here, you can customize font size, you can make it bigger, you can change the ink color, you can change the background color. So that might even be something to check out for if you have a student with a disability, like a reading disability. Sometimes different filtered colors, sometimes reading on a darker color with lighter text really helps them. So that's something to play around with for digital literacy and just getting the clutter out. The next thing I was going to talk about is just encouraging good note-taking strategies. A lot of times when we're reading with digital text, kids don't think to take notes like they do when they have a textbook in front of them. So one of the things that I really love is digital interactive notebooks. And we've developed some here in our district where here's an example of a reading one where the kids might be using a print or reading text, and they are filling in graphic organizers using either Google Slides or PowerPoint, and they can upload interactive things like videos, drawings. They could draw right on their iPad or tablet. So that's a pretty cool feature. And the link for that is right in this slideshow. Another thing they might do is take notes in Keep or OneNote. So that's something that teachers can model, like taking screenshots. Here on the slide is an example. And you can use highlighting tools inside of Keep to highlight different parts of the text. And then you could take notes on that text. So that would be a really great way to engage in digital or print texts using digital tools. We get a lot of mileage out of screenshots. So we have tablets. So if you take screenshots, we use markup features and things like that. The last thing that I was going to just talk about is something I love, which is book snaps. So this started by Tara Martin, using Snapchat, and she used her Bitmoji, and she would take pictures in Snapchat of print text that she was reading and sort of annotate them and add little Bitmojis to that. And since then, it's been modified to include things like using Seesaw and emojis and draw features. And if kids are using Seesaw, they could even make a recording of their thoughts. You can use Pic Collage and have them take pictures and annotate with draw features and use stickers. And then even just markup tools inside your smartphone or your tablet. A lot of them, if you take a photo, there are different tools that you can use to mark up that text. So those were just some of the big things that I thought was important to engage kids in reading. And also we want to make sure that they're being good digital citizens online. So I'm gonna quit sharing my screen here.
Heidi, okay.
Did I get
like you went the gauntlet. I was thinking of my elementary schools and then from the high schools. So we've got some questions from online. We had Allison Gregory wanted to know what if all of that was with the Just Read extension. And I think I can help her answer that. But the Just Read extension Allison Gregory said she's sharing that tomorrow. So that's amazing. That was amazing. And that Kelly Reno was talking about how that they are Fayette County is actually a common sense certified district. So that's awesome. But you just shared a whole bunch of extra tools that I wasn't even aware of, but how important it is for them to be able to annotate in these digital books. And then I would have never thought about using Snapchat for that. That's a great idea. So,
take that tool and make it for learning.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I'm a big fan of Be Internet Awesome. So I love just the whole concept of it, and, gamifying digital responsibility is really cool. And it's so new too that not a whole lot of people know about it yet. So it's definitely something that needs to be on a priority list, especially for, what would you say the target age is for Be Internet Awesome, Heidi?
I would say like 4th grade and up. It seemed like that when I was going through it, there were some modules that seemed like it was more for middle school. But I think our 4th graders would be engaged in it with the gamification piece.
So how do you bring that in? Like, when I know you're a digital learning coach, so you don't have like a class set or a class group of kids that come to you, but how do you recommend that people or teachers integrate the Internet Awesome curriculum into their classroom?
Well, I think for sure it's a life skill. And a lot of teachers, especially at the elementary and middle school, are teaching things like study skills and life skills and ways to manage your time. And I think that really needs to just be part of it, integrated directly into everything they're doing. If language arts could complete some modules and then write reflections about their own behavior, and social studies that could talk about the civic engagement of it. And so I think it connects to everything. It's just up to us to model that.
Oh yeah, I agree 100% too. I really like it. And, and I think something else that is important too, that you mentioned several times during your presentation, is the importance of us as teachers, and leaders in the classroom and schools to model good digital citizenship for our students and, cite our sources. And that's, sometimes I'm not the greatest at that, but it's definitely something that I try to be more cognizant of, because I think, that shows our students that, even if this is a slide deck I'm using with my students or whatever, then, they see the citation and understand the importance of not, claiming work that isn't yours as yours. So I'm right there with you, sister, on this. And I also just want to make a note that this little lady here, Heidi Neltner, is a KISTI award-winning teacher. So, we need to make sure that everybody watching, that we understand we are learning from greatness here on our channel tonight. So, is your face nice and red? And
yeah, thanks.
Well, she most definitely is a rock star. So, okay, you guys, if you are watching Kentucky Go Digital Live right now at this moment, I want you to think about your favorite thing you've seen so far and go tweet it to the hashtag Kentucky Go Digital and share the link to our live channel. We want to get these live viewers up to 50. So if you are on Facebook, share it on Facebook, share it on the Twitters, and link them up. We are just KentuckyGoDigital.com. And it's really easy. So share this video. We've got a couple more presentations before we wrap up for the night. So share, and hop back over here to us. So our next panelist is Shelly Haun. She is a first-year library media specialist at North Middle School in Hardin County. And Shelly has brought a friend with her today, Miss Stephanie Taylor. And she is going to talk a little bit about a collaborative lesson that they are working on together.
Okay. Having just come from 18 years in elementary school, I consider myself a teacher with some really amazing resources in this library. So after the first few months of trying to figure out the land of middle school and, this whole library thing, I have gotten to the point now where people are beginning to want to collaborate, which really is, it's my favorite part of this entire job is, for example, Stephanie Taylor, who's an amazing language arts teacher, came to me and said, hey, I have this idea. This is what I want to do. And so we put our heads together, and with the resources that I have as far as books and technology and just, my elementary background on, step-by-step processing and things, we are working together on a really cool project that is going to be, it's multi-use. Do you want to talk about how you came up with the idea?
I was thinking about the time of year that it was and the fact that we're in a spot with our standards for the students where I need to kind of be wrapping things up and thinking ahead to preparation for K-Prep. And so I thought, what is something that I can do that will incorporate the incorporate all of the things that we have learned throughout the year. So in my head, the best way to do that was to give the students a chance to speak and listen, to read, to write. And I mean, it sounds like, oh my gosh, this is everything. Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
We're so excited to come into the library and create our own classroom version of Reading Rainbow. I mean, that was kind of the inspiration for it. So with Shelly and myself, we are presenting the students with all of the technology available to them, and we're giving them some pretty loose parameters about what technology they can use for which aspect of the project. But we're just kind of letting them create, and they are super excited right now too. So I'm really interested to see what we come up with.
Well, our first phase took place earlier this week when we introduced the students to, in order to use the technology, of course, we have to know how to use it. So Screencastify is one of my all-time favorites. So we had talked about creating a series of short clips. And Stephanie also brought up Story Jumper. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with Story Jumper. My elementary students were in love with Storybird. That was, they begged during computer time to do Storybird. Story Jumper is, they can create their stories, but they can also add their own illustrations. So with the use of Screencastify to create video shorts and the use of Story Jumper to, either personally illustrate their stories, the end goal, basically the end goal is for us to use the Chromebooks and the Screencastify and the Story Jumper to create the story that they want to read. And then, because I have been needing to do some character education with our middle school students, no reason why in particular, but we are going to focus all of the books that the children select and do their Reading Rainbow on as a big positive character trait that can then be played in front of the green screen like the Reading Rainbow and played on the morning announcements for the students to see. Does that make sense? That's a lot.
Have you started this yet, Shelly, at all?
We have started phase one, and phase one was where we did Jamie Chenault's Sneaker Word, which is my all-time favorite activity to do on Screencastify. Do you know what that is?
Well, I know what Screencastify is, but I'm not sure what you just
The Sneaker Word? Well, what we did, you haven't seen this? Oh my gosh, I have to show you one of these. Okay, Sneaker Word is kind of from the Jimmy Fallon thing, and I saw it at one of the ed things that we went to, and it's where you sneak these words in a slideshow, and the children have to have a conversation using the words that pop up on the screen, and you sneak in words. So we snuck in words, the big character traits. Here, if you have a second, I'll show you. It's pretty cute. Hey, there's the screen.
Yeah, go ahead and screen share if you want.
Oh, it'll be on a Padlet. I had all the students. Am I screen sharing or am I just looking at myself?
It's you. If you look on the left-hand side, yeah, click the green button with the arrow and you can, there you go.
Hang on real fast. Let me get there really fast.
Take your time, sister. We want to see it.
This was just a great way, and you can ask Stephanie, the kids absolutely loved it. So here is what we did. This was with her third and fourth block. And here is an example. Oh, let's pick some really funny ones. I don't know. She was pretty funny. But what they did is we had this was just to teach them how to do the desktop video, which would be really great if they have the illustrations and things and they're voicing over. So
what Shelly is showing you is the students having a very genuine conversation about these words and how they relate. And one of the words was Justin Bieber, and they like it was just a really fun way to introduce them to Screencastify, which we will use to take their book review and make it digital. So what we're calling this project is digital storytelling, and so there are tons of tools for us to use.
I'm a big fan of Screencastify, especially with student use. I don't know. Is there anybody else on the panel that uses Screencastify with their kiddos or knows of any good ideas maybe that you're using? Emily, what are you using it with?
Well, actually, I guess I just started using Screencastify for STLP purposes. And I had a couple of kids who entered the screen capture category, and they were obsessed with sharing how they use various online tools to build pixel art. They were so proud of themselves, and they did an awesome job.
I think it's important for everybody to be able to experience, especially students, to be able to experience the fact of having to narrate their screen, and it pushes them in that teaching role, and so that's important. But yes, Screencastify is definitely it's a favorite of a lot of us. I know that, but to put it into the students. And another thing I love, Shelly, about that Screencastify is that it actually puts it automatically into their Google Drive, so they don't have to put it right directly onto your hard drive, no uploading. It just goes ahead and goes in there. And it has its own little storage ability as well. So,
well, I just loved that whenever Shelly, decided what she was going to share on this panel, that you wanted to focus on the collaboration, because I think that's important too with our, as a classroom teacher, having a library media specialist that is willing to collaborate with you and to do cool stuff with you. I mean, that's what every classroom teacher dreams of. And I think that's just such a great thing that you guys are doing together, and leading the way for, hopefully more collaboration there at North Middle with some of the other teachers, and using that library as a resource space for, for the kiddos in the building. I mean, I love it. Thank you, Shelly. You're amazing. And I mean, we have to shout out, you're a first-year librarian. So you're doing awesome. Great job, girl.
Collaborate. Yes, Stephanie, thanks for collaborating with your librarian. Keep it up. Keep it up.
We are going to march on, and we are rolling into, let's see who's next. Emily, you are up, sister. Take it away. Emily, wait a minute. Emily, okay, so you're a library media specialist at Hearn. Is it Hearn Elementary?
I'm at Hearn Elementary.
Franklin County Schools. All right, show us what you got.
Okay, so I love that we've already been talking about digital tools and how they can be used in reading, because the digital tool that I want to focus on today is Epic. I love this tool, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Epic, I think, has been a great resource for my kids at Hearn. I've got currently 1st through 5th graders who are using it, and some of them are using it just for pleasure reading, and others are actually using it for research purposes. It's really hard to make your budget go as far as you need it to in order to cover all the possible nonfiction topics that your students are going to want to explore. And I've found that this is a great extension of what I already have. Now, Epic is what I've been telling kids. It's kind of like Netflix for books. So if you've got an idea of something that you're interested in learning about or watching, then you just go, you do your search, and ta-da, here's a book about your topic. And there's also a collection of learning videos that I think is way better than trying to send kids off to YouTube sometimes. YouTube obviously has lots of really awesome education content, but for our younger students, sometimes I think they struggle with finding things that are appropriate. The number one thing that I probably love about Epic, it is 100% free for educators. Free, free, free. I have curated collections based on various topics to share with students. When it was Groundhog Day a couple of weeks ago, I put together some fiction and nonfiction books, and we read a fiction book and read a nonfiction book together on the projector, and then I turned them loose in my collection that I had put together, and they needed to read a fiction and nonfiction book and identify some of those same features that they were talking about in the classroom. My reluctant readers, I have random children who've been coming up to me in the hallway and just expressing how much they love Epic. And that, I think, is an amazing thing. If I can get one more kid who, yes, he has to come to the library because it's his enrichment period, but instead of feeling, yuck about being in the library, which I hope that everybody loves coming to the library. But I had a kid who had been a behavior problem, and once he actually was finding books about things that he was passionate about on Epic, he turned around, and that was a big thing for me. There are always new things. I like to use it as a center. I also like to use it as a teaching tool. I've got kids who are obsessed with the Minecraft books that I can't keep in my actual collection because they're checked out all the time. So any kid can read that book. It's unlimited. We're doing a 4th grade wax museum, and a lot of our kids have selected that they want to have, pop culture personalities like musicians and athletes. And I may not have, the new hot person that kids want to learn about, but I can do a search in Epic and I can get a book from a major publisher that I would have considered to be a great choice for my collection development. And ta-da, it's there. I've got it. It was $0.
Emily, can I ask you a question? Do you use the quizzes that are on Epic? And my experience with it is some of the quizzes aren't even on there yet. Do you have students start to write their own quizzes on there? Does any in the panel have that experience with the quizzes that are on Epic?
I have not actually used any of the quizzes yet. Some of the kids take them on their own. I'm more focused at this point with just building excitement and a culture of reading. Awesome. So I think as I'm starting to push in with my classroom teachers, I just had a really great conversation with a 1st grade teacher before I came home today. And on Monday afternoon, we're going to sit down and look at importing all of her students so that she can use it with her kids. I started out with just creating these basic grade level profiles because Epic apparently will let as many kids as log in to a profile read in it. So I thought this was a really easy way for my bank of desktops in my library and my iPad center to be able to look at.
Can I jump in real quick? I pulled it up on my browser, and then a question popped through on the YouTube live chat. But what's the cost with this? Jessica Campbell, she left a comment on the YouTube live chat that said that she has used Epic before. She wished money grew on trees, and this was free access for our students at home. Can you talk a little bit about like the pricing or the structure of this for those of us who I've never even heard of it before? So I'm curious what that's about.
It is free for in-school use during school hours by educators. If students want home access, then parents can pay a subscription fee. I think it's around $7 or $8 a month.
Yeah, it says $7.99 a month. That's why I was curious if you paid like but so it's free for when they're in school, and then subscription based outside of school, right?
Yes. So this is a new collection that Epic has pushed out right now. These are a lot of the lower grade Greta Scott King and Caldecott and Geisel award winners from the recent Youth Media Awards from ALA. And this, personally, I See a Cat is one of my favorite picture books of the year because I really think that my wiener dogs wrote it, because it's just dogs spazzing out about seeing various things in the backyard. I like how when I send a collection out, I can send a collection out as an assignment. It's in this mailbox. And then, so this is my Groundhog Day collection. As you can see, it was well read. There are some titles that are read to me. And so they will read out loud.
I was just about to make a comment about the audio piece of that, because that was one of the first things that I noticed when I pulled it up is the audio books, I guess, that are on there, audio capability.
Audiobook section, where if you have students who need support for print material and it's hard to afford audiobooks. Audiobooks are very expensive, even more so than buying print. And these are a lot of really popular series and titles that if they had the print in front of them with that additional audio support, that would support your struggling readers. I think that this is a great tool for elementary and up into middle school, because particularly with the nonfiction ranges up to even upper middle school at times.
All right, sister, I'm going to speed you up. 30 seconds. What's your favorite part about Epic? What do you want to leave our viewers with about your tool that you're showcasing?
Okay. It's that it is free and kids love it.
Well, you can't go wrong with that. That's for sure. Okay, so we're going to have to roll on. I know James asked, Debbie, we're actually going to skip you and go to James. James has a student there. So we want to make sure that we get a chance to get our little friend on Kentucky Go Digital Live there with James. Real quick though, Emily, one of the comments that popped through on the live chat was Shelly Haun, who just said she's registering for Epic right now. So she's in our chat on YouTube, and she's in our Hangout, and she's registering for Epic. So Shelly, thank you. So what? Thank you, Emily. All right, James, take it away, sir. Who's your friend there?
This is Bella. She is in 5th grade. She's actually she has Mr. Piercy as a teacher, right? How many kids can say that?
Oh, not many. That's a rare sighting right there.
So what I wanted to show you all, I don't know if I'll talk again, but I'm going to share CoSpaces with you really quickly. They've kind of been going through some changes. They've kind of merged their products into one CoSpaces EDU product, and they have a free version. And before I tell you that part, I guess I should say it's a way to create virtual reality worlds that you can edit and also program using Blockly code. So it really can do a lot depending on the content area. Doesn't matter. You could use it for anything, kind of like people use Minecraft and other sandbox type environments. But it's cool because it's virtual reality. You can use it you can view it in a viewer. You can view it on a screen. It's also kind of a presentation tool because you can include multiple scenes, kind of like slides, like you do in Google Slides or PowerPoint. But I wanted to show you really quickly one. I'm going to share my screen. So this is one that another student of mine is doing. She's creating a kind of interactive VR tour of a field trip that they took. And I'm going to show you the back end part. But right now, you can sign up for a CoSpaces account as a teacher and get 30 free student accounts. And you don't get every single feature, but you get quite a bit. So that's what she's doing here. And a cool part about CoSpaces is that you can upload your own 360 photos. So these kids this is, I think, 7th grade, went on a trip to Chicago, and they took their own 360 photos with just their own camera, right? And then they upload these to CoSpaces. And then you can add text, and you can actually program this. She's working on adding her voice to it because you can upload audio files, and it will play them. I don't know if she has one on this next page. That's her dad there. That's kind of funny. but I'm gonna kind of share Bella's creation here with you. Let me go back to my camera. Can you see me again? All right. So you want to talk to him a little bit about what you did?
So I used the basic building blocks to create like essentially the base of a classroom, and then I uploaded different images of things Mr. Piercy has in his classroom. So one of them is over here. There's like a Be Internet Awesome sign. There's
And just for some background, our 4th and 5th graders have Chromebooks, so CoSpaces works really well with the Chromebook.
There's maps in the Constitution. And then I added some text and animation.
So you get some regular objects that you can use in the game, but you can also use just like regular geometric shapes to build your own things. So you can see Mr. Piercy moving around there, talking to his class. What's he saying?
I will have it tomorrow.
Can you show him the Blockly part really quick?
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. So any object that you put into your VR world, you can make it be something that you can code using the Blockly code. So it could be a character, it could be an object, it could be really anything, and you can have it do things like say things or move or spin around or change colors. So really, like storytelling wise, the possibilities are kind of endless. And you can kind of talk about it like I talked to you all. I don't really give them really hard assignments. I kind of just let them play with this stuff and figure it out, so that when they have other projects, this is kind of in their tool belt that they can use to do whatever they want. Like you can give an example. Or
Hey Bella, what's your favorite part of CoSpaces? Like what do you love about it?
I think it's really cool because like there's kind of unlimited possibilities of what you can do with it. So you can use it for like slideshows or presentations, but you can also use it to create like displays of things, and it's really cool to upload like 360 videos and view it in VR too.
I would agree with that. I bet that's a lot more fun than making a PowerPoint, huh?
Yeah.
So cospaces.io. Check it out. EDU. CoSpaces EDU. Any other questions about CoSpaces?
Let's see. Elaine, do you have anything?
I do. You referred to the 360 camera. Now, what do you? It's not actually like a camera. They're using is there an app on their phone they're using to take this type of picture?
Yeah, our kids use the Street View app usually.
Yes.
From Google. Okay. And you can it gives you little dots on your screen, you spin around, and once you've done that, you can download that image just to your camera roll and then put that image wherever you want. And like for example, CoSpaces, you can just upload it straight to there, and then that becomes your.
And I think that's how people do that on Facebook too, isn't it?
Yeah, same thing.
So Street View, that's a Google app. Of course, it's free. So Google Street View, cool.
And I prefer the Street View app and 360 pictures to doing like a fancy Theta camera or whatever. I think your camera quality on your phones are so high that it makes the 360 picture a lot nicer. But that's awesome. I never actually seen a real life 360 image inside of CoSpaces with like the labels and stuff. So that's really awesome. Thank you.
That was just the beginning of her work. So you could add all kinds of things, like especially with the Blockly code, you can have it be a totally self-driving exploration with all the code in there.
Hey, Bella. So Jeff Sabalski, who is in charge, he works for KDE, he says, thank you for sharing. And I think all of us, and thank you for sharing your awesome work. Way to go, girly.
Yeah, Mr. Sabalski, he's like in charge of STLP. He's like the head honcho, big guy on campus. So you're basically a celebrity. And you definitely stole the show from Mr. Allen. So pat yourself on that. Let's see. Look, you're blowing up the live chat, sister. It says, Kelly Reno, I think from Fayette County. She said, you rock. Keep coding, girl. Livingston County Schools says, go Bella. So everybody loves you on Kentucky Go Digital Live. You're a celebrity, sister. Thank you guys though for sharing. That was awesome. CoSpaces is definitely on my to-do list to get in there and do a deep dive on and learn a little bit more. Bye, Bella. Thank you. All right, we are going to wrap up our panel tonight with Debbie Unger. Did I pronounce that right, Debbie?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Debbie is a library media specialist at Lassiter Middle School in Jefferson County. And Debbie, I have to give you a special shout out because Debbie filled an opening that we had on our panel literally like last night at 9 o'clock and jumped in here this morning like 30 minutes before we went live. So Debbie is our hero here on Kentucky Go Digital Live tonight, our second special episode. So take it away, sister. We can't wait to hear what you've got to share.
Well, thank you for having me. I don't know if I want to follow Bella, though. She's a total rock star. So I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about that. But it's a really good tie-in. I wanted to definitely tie in connecting with my students with social media over the summer. And that's kind of how my entire journey began. And so what I did is there's so many different platforms you can use with social media. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I ended up going with Instagram Live. And what that did was I started very small. I just started a regular library Instagram account. So it's just at Lassiter Library. And then every Wednesday night, I would do a live video this summer to talk to my students. And what we did is actually my husband, he teaches with me too. I'm going to have him come over and say hi to you guys. He teaches with me too. And he was a great sport about doing the live show with me, because if the kids don't have me in the library, they definitely have him. So they've had one of us. So we got more students that way. And the first live we did, we only had 12 kids. And now we're up to, there's times we have 100, 212 kids watching. We have parents watching. We have teachers watching. And it has created this amazing community of readers and leaders in the building that want to talk about what they're reading. They're sharing books with each other, and they're just excited about it. One of the ways we keep the kids engaged in it is typically we do themes, and he's standing over here to the side. We did a Harry Potter theme. And we worked with the Louisville Free Public Library because they were having their Potterpalooza. And so we actually went live at the library and we dressed up. We totally geeked out on it. And the kids were so excited. And there were so many kids following us. And then we had all these kids rereading Harry Potter. And maybe they read it when they were in elementary school, but they came back to it. And they still are like, are you going to do another Harry Potter? So they get really excited when we choose different themes. I include them in things like when we're planning the book fair, and we went live at the book fair, and I saw you guys, we had some other people going live at the book fair. We did Gordon Corman, and Heather Royal and I actually had done an Author of the Year event a few years. We did Wendy Mass and Gordon Corman. So one week we did a Gordon Corman week, and we've also done Carl Hyacin, and right now we have kind of a battle going on whether you are Team Hoot or Team Flush, which book you like best. And we just get the kids really, really engaged that way. And we use the Instagram story with the poll. I use the stories. I post things all the time. I just use it as a way to connect with the kids. I have a link on our Instagram to Common Sense Media, and each time we talk about this is a safe space and we're all positive on there. So it's a good way to kind of interact with the kids in a safe way. The parents are aware of it. They know they can go to Common Sense Media to check the books that we're sharing with them. And we've also shared the books that we're most passionate with. And then we found that a lot of the kids will come in, kids that we wouldn't normally see in the library will come in and see me. And it's completely upped my circulation. And it's been a really, really good, positive experience.
Quick question, Debbie.
Yeah.
When you say Instagram Live, are you talking about like the story bubble things that are at the top of the homepage? I'm like totally not on the up and up with the hipster track on Instagram. Because like when you were saying Instagram Live, I was thinking YouTube Live, and then I was really confused. So it's almost like a Snapchat on Instagram. Is that right?
Yes, it is. And I went back and forth with using, like, did I want to use Snapchat or did I want to use Instagram? But I felt like Instagram was a little bit safer because it stays for 24 hours. Parents are a little bit more attuned to it and able to use it more. Snapchat's a little bit trickier. I'm still learning Snapchat. So it was a really good, like, in-between thing that the students are engaged in, but also our parents and our teachers can be a part of as well.
Debbie, I think there is literally like research that says exactly what you just said in terms of the demographics of the social media platforms that are used by certain age groups, and Facebook is, my students always say like Facebook's for old people.
Yes.
Mildly offensive, but they're like, oh my gosh, we're not on Facebook, and then Snapchat, it's like the opposite. We're like, what is Snapchat? And so Instagram is like the common ground that there are adults on there, but also, it definitely engages that middle to high school, population. So I know I saw like an infographic that said exactly that. So I think you made the right choice. I'm so excited. Like, I'm going to shut up. You keep talking, girl. Keep going.
Debbie,
Okay.
Before you keep going,
I'm sorry.
Heather
Okay,
wants to say hello, and she loved working with you. And I remember when I met you at ESET the other day that you guys actually collaborated when she was a librarian, and I think that's amazing. So she says hi.
Yes, hi. She is
with
amazing. I was actually a language arts teacher before I became a librarian, and I loved the collaboration so much with Miss Worrell that when there was a retirement at the school my husband was teaching at, it just kind of naturally fell into place. So it's been really good. But to get back to the Instagram, one of the really cool things about Instagram with the stories and the live is that it will save there for 24 hours. So I can let the kids know, hey, we're going live, and I do promos. I do a lot of branding. I do giveaways as well. I do tons of giveaways for my Scholastic Book Fair. I always let the kids know we're doing it, and then in return, they want to log on. They want to see what we're doing. But it saves the stories for 24 hours. It saves that live. And then we save it and we upload it to our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel, actually, we are taking this to a whole new level at Lassiter next year. And it's very exciting. And I was told I am allowed to share this. We will be working with Digital Promise and Verizon to go one-to-one. And we have 1,000 students that will be getting iPads, and we are just over the moon, so excited about it. So I will be able to take everything I've built up with this social media collaboration and reading community that I've built at the school with the help of the teachers and the parents and the students, and take it to a whole new level with Verizon and Digital Promise next year. So we're very, very excited for all the amazing things that are going to be happening at Lassiter.
Congratulations. That's so exciting. Yay.
Now I'm thinking you can use all those iPads to be able to teach them how to annotate like we saw earlier, and all these other tools together. So it's going to all carry across, but that's exciting. That's an amazing grant that you're getting, and that's awesome for those students.
It all ties together. We're so excited about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Debbie. I'm sitting here like, I don't know. I can see Shelly's like wheel spinning on how she's going to use Instagram in the library. I know that's like exactly something that is spinning in her little mind down there. So, okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, my circulation numbers, have just gone crazy because the kids are coming in so much more. And kids that you wouldn't normally think would come into the library, it's a conversation starter. They see me in the hallway and now they have something to say to me. And since I've shared so much of like my passions and my creativities with it, I've been very honest and very much myself. When I'm on there, the kids are more likely to come talk to me. And so it's built that really nice community within our readers at the school. So,
well, yeah, that's the thing. When we talk a lot on Kentucky Go Digital Live about culture and building relationship, and it's the foundation of everything we do. And the thing is, when you're talking about reaching middle school kids, you've got to build, relationships in creative ways. And so I think going where they are on social media and on Instagram is just a really remarkable and creative way for you to do that. And, one of the things that I noticed and saw on the slide deck that you wrote down is just sharing your passion for reading, which I think is really special. And well done, sister. I think it's awesome. Yeah, and I'm so excited for you. You rock. Okay, and everybody does. Oh my gosh,
Thank you for having me.
Yes, no, thank you for jumping in at the last minute. Okay, well, that wraps up our show for today. I have a list right beside me of everything that I'm going to be researching and looking into and sharing. What about y'all? Are y'all the same way out there?
Yes.
I know there's been a ton of comments rolling through the YouTube and also on Twitter to celebrate Digital Learning Day and the digital tools that we are using in our libraries and classrooms. So what a great show. Thank you to KYLChat. Special shout out to James and Heidi for really coordinating and putting together this amazing panel of library media specialists. You guys are very special as well. And Elaine, would you care to share how everyone can get continued support with the tools and Kentucky Go Digital Live?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, remember that you can receive all these videos on demand by clicking subscribe to the channel. So go ahead and do that for us so that you can get updated information of new shows. And sometimes we do have unplanned shows and extra shows so that you don't want to miss those. But also make sure that you contribute to the hashtag so that we can learn from you as well. Any kind of digital tools that you are using, or even if you have a question or two that you can ask others around Kentucky. So just make sure that you connect with us on Twitter. And we have a Facebook page online, but also I wanted to mention too, we have reached, as we saw at the beginning, over 1,000 subscribers, and we're going towards 1,100. So make sure that you keep your ears open for the registration of your upcoming regional event as well. And any of those regional events, you are more than welcome to attend. So they are free PD for you for sure. So
awesome. Thank you, Elaine. And thank you to all nearly 1,100 subscribers out there. I know that, I was just telling a teacher earlier, birds of a feather flock together. So I am just proud to connect with so many incredible, innovative educators across Kentucky. So something else just to keep in mind too, Elaine, I don't know if you mentioned KISTI, but we want to make sure we are talking about KISTI, which is coming up very, very soon, March 7th through the 9th in Louisville. And it's not just a technology conference either. It's a teaching and learning conference. We've got to focus on digital tools, which is what we do here on Kentucky Go Digital Live. So we will see all of you guys back here on March 1st. And March 1st is a big day because not only do we have our regularly scheduled Kentucky Go Digital Live episode with Faith Stroud, who's a principal at Robert Frost Academy and JCPS. She'll be talking about going one-to-one with Chromebooks, but we also have another special edition Kentucky Go Digital Live episode on March 1st. So we are on March 1st is going to be a big day because we are doing 2 episodes in one day. So be sure to tune in and subscribe so that you get notifications for those events that are coming up. So thank you again for tuning in with us tonight. And if you are interested in that professional development certificate, be sure to grab the link to that. Elaine, you want to pop that on your screen real quick before we close out? If they are interested in getting a certificate. So Don't forget, this link will be live for the next 3 hours if you are interested in getting a certificate that you could turn in. And don't forget, too, that when you take this back to your administrator, that it's going to be based on a district by district. The requirements are different. So be sure just to talk to your administrator and see if they are willing to award you that credit. And when you hear Kentucky Go Digital Live say that we are doing a special episode, then you can guarantee there will be PD credit available. So don't forget that as you create and connect across the state, to share to our hashtag, hashtag Kentucky Go Digital. Be sure to share all the wonderful things. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the hashtag today, but we said earlier it's been a dance party over there. So good ideas are constantly flowing down that hashtag. So be sure to create and connect over there with us. Until next time, we are Kentucky Go Digital. Yes.
Get involved with Kentucky Go Digital. Attend regional events, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or follow us on Twitter.